Goalkeepers. This is where games are won and lost. You can have the best attack, the best midfield, even a solid defense. But if your goalkeeper is not good, it's over. And right now, in football, there are two names everyone is arguing about. 107 Petr Cech and 107 Gianluigi Buffon. Two legends, two icons, two completely different goalkeepers and how they feel in game. And today, we're answering the question nobody can seem to agree on. Who is actually better? Let's start with Petr Cech, because the moment you see this card, you already know what type of goalkeeper you're getting. Defensive goalkeeper. That alone tells you everything. Cech is not coming out randomly. He's not rushing. He's not doing anything unnecessary. He stays in position. He waits. He reacts. And when you look at his stats, it makes sense. 100 goalkeeping, 94 catching, 94 parrying, 100 reflexes, 97 reach. This is a goalkeeper built for shot stopping. And that 100 reflexes? Yeah, that's where things get scary. Because in-game, reflexes is what saves you in those close-range situations. Those moments where the opponent is through on goal, those quick shots inside the box, that's where Cech shines. He reacts fast. Sometimes it doesn't even make sense how he saves certain shots. Now look at his height, 196 centimeters. That's not just tall, that's huge. That reach combined with his reflexes, it covers so much of the goal. Even when you think you've beaten him, he somehow gets a hand to it, and then you look at his skills. GK directing defense. This is big, because it means your defense is more organized. Your backline reacts better, everything just feels more structured. And when you're under pressure, that matters a lot. Now let's switch to Buffon, because this is where the conversation gets interesting. Buffon is not a defensive goalkeeper. He's an offensive goalkeeper. And instantly, that changes everything, because Buffon is more aggressive. He comes out more. He challenges attackers. He tries to stop danger before it even becomes a shot. Now look at his stats. 101 goalkeeping, 97 catching, 97 parrying, 95 reflexes, 96 reach. At first glance, you might think, yeah, this is similar. But it's not, because the distribution of stats tells a different story. Buffon has better catching and parrying than Cech, which means when he saves shots, he's more likely to hold the ball, less rebounds, less second chances, and that is huge in tight games. But then you notice the drop, 95 reflexes compared to Cech's 100. That's a difference. And in certain situations, you will feel it, especially against quick shots. Now let's talk about his skill, GK Spirit Roar. This is one of those abilities that people underestimate because it boosts performance in key moments. Big saves, clutch situations, late in the game. Buffon can suddenly turn into a wall, and that unpredictability, it's dangerous. So now we have two completely different goalkeepers. Cech equals safe, reactive, shot stopper. Buffon equals aggressive, proactive, commanding. And this is where you need to understand something very important. This is not just about stats. It's about how they play. Let's talk about consistency, because this is where Cech dominates. Cech is reliable. You know what you're getting. He stays in position. He makes the saves he's supposed to make. He doesn't do anything crazy, and that's exactly why people trust him. In competitive matches, consistency is everything. Buffon, he's different. Some games, he feels unstoppable. He's everywhere, saving everything, commanding the box. But other games, he might come out at the wrong time. He might get caught off his line, and suddenly, you concede. Now let's talk about playstyle impact. If you play a deep defensive line, if you like to sit back, if you rely on blocking shots, Cech is perfect, because he stays back. He protects the goal, he doesn't expose you. But if you play a high line, if you press aggressively, if your defense sometimes gets exposed, Buffon might actually help you more, because he comes out, he sweeps, he stops attacks early. Now let's talk about the small details, because this is where matches are decided. Rebounds, Cech with 94 parrying, Buffon with 97. That means Buffon is slightly better at pushing the ball away safely. Less danger, less chaos. But then, close range saves. Cech with 100 reflexes, Buffon with 95. That means in those tight moments, Cech has the edge. So what does this all mean? It means there is no perfect goalkeeper. It depends on you, your playstyle, your defense, your system. But let's be honest. If we're talking about the best overall goalkeeper, the one that gives you the least problems, the one that performs consistently, the one that saves you when things go wrong, it's Petr Cech. Because in eFootball, mistakes happen. Defenses break, opponents get chances, and in those moments, you need a goalkeeper you can trust, not one that might come out, not one that might gamble, but one that will stay there and make the save. Buffon is amazing. He's fun, he's impactful, and in the right system, he can even feel better. But Cech, he's safer, more reliable, more consistent. And sometimes, that's what wins you games. So when it comes down to it, 107 Petr Cech versus 107 Buffon, the better goalkeeper, the one you can rely on, the one that saves you again and again and again. It's Cech. And once you use him, you'll understand exactly why.